Hello and welcome to another edition of the Agentic CMO. I am your host, Dave Lehman, President and COO at Birdeye, and I am thrilled to have you here for episode 12. I am turning in my purple jacket this week for a purple cocktail as I am coming to you live from Costa Rica, Papagayo, here on the lovely beach. Beautiful day, and I would love to talk to you about all things agentic and AI in the CMO world, especially for marketers in multi-location businesses. I am on my own this week. I get a chance to talk to you directly, give you my insights. We've talked to a lot of guests at this point, both from the industry, from Birdeye, and from other areas. And it's my chance to get to have a conversation with you today. So I would first of all start with my background. I've been talking to you guys for a while, but my background has been a little different than most marketers. I've been running marketing teams for over 10 years, but I come to it from a slightly different angle. I was an engineer out of school, got into sales for many years, out on the road carrying a bag, doing small business, doing upmarket, enterprise, a lot of SaaS, places like Salesforce, Campaign Monitor. And I've gotten a chance to learn marketing along the way. I've gotten to be a student of the game. And like I said, over the last 10 years, gotten a chance to dive in and work with amazing marketers and learn how they do branding, learn how they do product marketing, how they do events, how they do demand gen, and have gotten a chance to, again, continue to study and learn new channels, pick up the difference between when you're working on Facebook, when you're working on Google, when you're working on LinkedIn. All these different channels that we have available to us all come together, keep changing, keep evolving. And that's sort of the world we're in right now, is that AI has now given us a whole new level where we can keep evolving and keep running things. So I love to think about marketing as a right brain and left brain exercise. My background, again, is I've got a family of all sorts of different brains. We've got my father, who was an engineer, and I got that left brain side of it. My mother's an artist, that right brain side of it. And that's how you bring together great marketing. You've got to be looking at the numbers. You've got to looking at the systems and the processes, but then you also got to bring the art to it. You've got to bring the personality and try and figure out what's going to resonate and catch fire with people. That's how you build a great marketing team and a great marketing organization. When I think about, again, the numbers, very much the demand gen side of things, how do I drive a funnel that's efficient, that gets leads at the top of the funnel, can convert well, become customers, and stick around? That full funnel marketing side of the demand gen is a key aspect of it. That's the numbers. On the picture side, how do you create a beautiful brand? How do you have something that resonates and reflects who you are as a business and attracts the right customers? And then the words, how do you bring out the right words to talk about things in a clean, succinct style that is going to match that brand and match that lead capture? So that's the world of marketing. I don't think that has changed. What has changed is the tools that we have at our disposal. AI is obviously everywhere. We talk with a lot of CMOs on this show about how they're using AI to run their teams and how they're capturing new customers on some of these new channels of AI. But the game hasn't changed. What AI really has allowed us to do is to be better at our game, to be really faster, better, and really fill in some of the gaps that we have. But it doesn't change the fact that we've got to be good at the numbers, the pictures, and the words. And that's where AI, using things like Claude internally, using things like ChatGPT, building our own agents, using off-the-shelf software that leverages stuff, is really the way you are going to be successful moving forward. So when I talk to guests, we get into a couple areas. One that I love talking about because it's so new and such a bright new channel is AEO. answer engine optimization. How do we do that? How do we work that in between what we're doing with SEO? Is it the same? Is it different? There's a lot that overlaps with it. There's a lot that goes into it, but it is critical right now. If you're a multi-location marketer, it is more important than ever that you are all over this channel. We know that things like search volumes are way up. 48% of US search queries now get a Google AI overview versus just 31% a year ago. 37% of consumers now begin their search on AI tools versus 20%. 900 million ChatGPT weekly active users, double a year ago. We thought it was big a year ago, twice as many on ChatGPT. 45 billion AI platform sessions per month worldwide. That is serious volume. And I think everybody gets it at this point. I think that's where we are. Now, everybody is also starting to understand the value of this traffic. It may not be your main traffic source yet. It may not have passed some of these other traditional channels that you have, but the numbers are staggering in terms of the quality of this traffic. There's been a 393% increase year over year in AI referred traffic in the US retail sites in Q1 of this year. 42% better conversion than paid search on or email. Think about that. You've been paying for leads for years. If you can get this traffic onto your site, it's converting at 42% better than those other channels. So these channels are critical. I think we all get it. What we all need to now get into is how do we take advantage of it? What are the things that we need to do as a business to get really into the details of this traffic, this consumer behavior, the rest of it? So it's critical with these new channels that we're doing the right things and preparing ourselves to be found in these channels. And again, a lot of this overlaps with SEO, but there's a lot of new things that we need to be doing. The first is our own website signals. What are we doing on our website? Again, similar to SEO, technically I need to be correct. I need to have the right content there. I need to see that my own information is unique and standing out and great. The next huge one are trust signals. Trust signals around things like reviews. Are you getting the right reviews, the right number of reviews, the right ratings on it, the right feedback on those reviews? Google for years has been leveraging this, but this is going to another level. The depth of keywords that you're getting on your reviews matters. So think about that. If you're just asking for reviews, how did we do? You're going to get some great, hopefully 5 stars out there. But it's more important than ever that you're asking very specific questions to your customers about what they had in that journey. We have a big customer who increased their review volume 29% by asking the right question at the right time. They're in dental and they use these procedure codes, say, hey, if I'm getting my tooth extracted, I'm going to ask at a different time than if I got my teeth cleaned. It makes sense. But the next level of that is by asking about the procedure, they're getting rich responses in their reviews. So what that means is that they are able to have these AI engines read details about their procedures that are ranking them even higher than they were before. So those trust signals are critical. Listings as well, accuracy, making sure you've got consistent data. Again, some great SEO practices as well. The third one is around third-party sites. Now, it's not just about backlinking anymore. Think about how do you get onto these sites that are being referenced by third parties that can give you a ranking that'll give you hey, this is the top X, the top storage in my area. Like those type of third party sites are critical as well. And even more so with these new engines for ChatGPT, Perplexity, and so forth. What we're finding is that more and more people are at least getting on board and saying, I've got to understand what my business looks like on these sites. And they're using new tools to do it. two things that you really need to look at when you're looking at a tool in the space. One is it looking at the brand level, or is it looking at the location level as well? We did a study of tens of thousands of searches and found that while some people may be ranking high on their brand, when it comes down to the individual location where someone's going to actually sign up for an appointment, 1 in 5, 20% of those were completely invisible to these engines. So as you look at these tools, it's about what data am I really getting that's going to drive consumer behavior and really connect and drive more leads. The other thing that we're finding is it is so critical that when you're setting up these tools, that you go deep into what the prompts are. What are the prompts that are driving actual consumer behavior? For example, I could just say, best hamburger near me, best taco in Papagayo. I could put that in there. But if that's not what people are looking for, if that's not driving and mimicking consumer behavior, you're missing out big. So you really need to take the time to look at what are people talking about? What are people even talking about in their reviews? That's a great signal. What are they talking about on social media that would align to their customer journey, so that when you are prompting and checking these engines and looking for your accuracy and looking for your relevancy across these engines, that you are coming out on top and measuring the right thing, and that you've got the right partner to help you figure out those prompts. It's critical. It's critical. So that AEO world is huge. Hopefully you're spending a lot of time with your team figuring that out, diving into the numbers around it, the words you're using, and the pictures that you're using on those ads to drive people the right way. But the other side of marketing that we're seeing a huge shift in is internally. How do you get work done? How do you leverage these technologies to scale your operations, have more efficiency, honestly, do more with less? I don't know if you saw it this week, but ClickUp put out a big post on LinkedIn, and they said, okay, we're going to fire our entire marketing team and we're going to hire one person, pay him $1 million, but that person needs to be able to run the entire marketing team on their own for $100 million plus business. How do they do that? Well, obviously they'd use a lot of other types of employees, AI agents. So think about that. That's obviously an extreme and something that I'm not ready to do on our marketing organization. But how do you leverage technology? Again, both the straight up foundational models and tools like Claude and ChatGPT, and how do you leverage partners who could help you scale your business that way? Some of the things we've done, we built a brand checker, for example. Any piece of content that we're going to send out internally just to stay on brand that way, but more importantly, externally, we run through our brand checker. That takes the content, looks again at the word, looks at the conversations that we have in it, looks at the pictures that we put in. Does it follow our brand guidelines? That's critical, and we need to be checking that before we put out any new material. PR, again, we have an idea. We want to get a release out there. We're releasing a lot of new products. We have a PR checker that'll go in, look at it, make sure we're, again, on brand, but are we following our overall story? Is it connected to the other PR that we put out there? For me, as the final approver of all PR that goes out, it's a great asset for me to know that I can check it first that way and then add in my stuff. Now, most of these tools still require a human in the loop, still require you to use your brain, use your creativity, get in there and talk to these engines and prompt them the right way so that you can deliver these results. We're doing a big brand refresh, and you'll see some amazing stuff coming out in the next couple of weeks here. But what I love about it is the creativity was there. We're using a great agency and the creativity is there, but the speed at which they can move when we say, hey, you know what, love that, but we want to change that. We want to change it. The cycles that it would take in years past, no way we would hit our deadlines. But now we can say, hey, you know what? Turn that yellow to green, maybe brown. They can easily, using AI, create these assets, give us the ability to move faster, tweak things, test it, tune it, and bring it all together. this is the power of AI in the marketing world that we're living in right now. So again, guys, a lot going on in the world. Hopefully you're enjoying the podcast, learning some things here and there from our guests. And if you've got more feedback, would love to hear it. Add comments into the whatever platform you're on. Would love to hear if there's more you want to learn about the marketers themselves. If there's areas of multi-location marketing that you want to dive deeper into, would love to hear from you. And then we would absolutely love to have you at View 2026, September 9th and 10th. AI event of the year, not to be missed. If you're in multi-location marketing and you want to learn more about not just what AI is and the theories behind it, but actual use cases of where you can improve your business, improve your team's efficiencies, View is the place to be. We're going to have outside experts on the industry. We've got a lot of customers talking about how they're leveraging AI and Birdeye to move faster. So sign up. It's free. It's virtual, 2 days, about 4 hours each session, and we look forward to having you there. But thank you again for joining us on another edition of the Agentic CMO. Have a great day.